Hello, welcome to tonight's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast.
Welcome to the Fantasy Zone. Get ready.
Brandon's back again this week. That was 3 weeks in a row. How did we get that? You're almost always like, I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I'm gonna go upstairs. Well,
you know what?
Well, you're drinking
Coffee. Japanese coffee.
Milk coffee. I'm drinking my iced tea. Same thing I'm always drinking. But all right,
from the local Japanese food store.
So
we're not officially sponsored by them. Please give those very nice ladies money.
Yes. And tonight's episode is brought to you by RU Game, the best comic book, video game, magic, toy, movie store in all of Pickle, Ohio. 124 North Sunset Drive, Pickle, Ohio, 45356.
You're just thirsty, just stop in for a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, we have sodas. You can come in. We do have tables for gaming, and people play D&D and Magic and all that stuff. And we do have, that's the thing. We have gaming. We have RPGs and stuff like that. We have a wide selection of miniatures and games. Mm-hmm. So tonight's episode is, you want to do this one, is adaptations.
Yep.
And some of that stuff, this is gonna hit some people hard, because there's some adaptations of movies or video games to movies. Movies to video games, manga to anime, comic book to movie, movie to comic book to movie, whatever. Some of this stuff is stuff people are just not
furious about.
Oh, yeah. But we're going to be talking about some of our favorites, some of the ones that people are much maligned. And
I'm going to start with something famous. The Shining.
The Shining. Oh,
wildly different.
Vastly different from book to movie.
The book was, Jack was like a bit of a self-insert for Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
Movie Jack is, you know the scene. You know the scene.
Well, okay. Stephen King's.
But what I bring up is that the movie universe is openly an alternate timeline, because I'm pretty sure the book is described they're driving a yellow car.
Yeah, and the yellow car is wrecked.
See that. Yeah, you can see that wrecked yellow car.
Yep, at the beginning of the movie.
It's right there telling you right away, this is not an adaptation. This is a reimagining of events.
This is Stanley Kubrick's Shining, not Stephen King's Shining. Stephen King's Shining came out 15 years ago. Well, no, it was longer than that. With Steven Weber and Rebecca De Mornay from Wings, and Rebecca De Mornay from stuff. And that's actually a closer adaptation, and that was a miniseries on TV, to the book than the movie.
I think everyone here is happy that both It movies are not 100% accurate to the book.
Well, because definitely. Well, and there's some shit that just cannot translate, anyways.
Stephen King is like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that.
That was 1985. Completely different world.
That was the coke talking.
Yeah, that was the cocaine talking.
Please, for the love of God, do not.
Then you get Dr. Sleep, which is a sequel to The Shining, but it's more of a
The Shining.
But it's more of a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining. So,
yeah, I saw the trailers for the movie, and we see old Danny.
Yep, by Ewan McGregor. You want to make a movie better? Put in Ewan McGregor.
Save the prequels.
Yes,
that man is great. You could put him in.
You could put him in Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey and make it good, because he's great as Black Mask in that movie.
I've heard wildly. I haven't watched that yet. But
it's not bad. It's an enjoyable movie. It's what it is.
I heard it's just.
I liked it.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
My
Mom
thing
likes the movie.
I liked it. I liked both of them, which is surprising because I don't particularly like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, you're more of a poison ivy.
Yeah.
I don't
And-
like her character,
and-
but I like what they do with her.
Yeah, but to be honest, with
The cartoon's way better though.
oh yeah, the cartoon's
Yeah.
great,
Watch DCAU. Watch.
and I like Elizabeth Winstead as the Huntress. I like that version of the Huntress, but that version of the Huntress is not the Huntress from the book. Same with Cassandra Cain. The Cassandra Cain you get in the here we go, adaptations.
Adaptations.
The movie version of Birds of Prey, vastly different than the comics. Black Canary is vastly different than the one in the movie. Cassandra Cain's vastly different than the one in the movie. Huntress is vastly different from the one in the movie.
See, there comes down to an argument where it's you want characters to be recognizable as their characters. I heard this big thing with the Artemis Fowl adaptation. In the books, Artemis Fowl is the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the protagonist, but he's the bad guy. In the movie, right away they do away with that and make him more of a hero archetype.
Yeah, see, I
So
haven't
it's
watched
like-
that Artemis Fowl. I want to because now it's on Disney Plus.
Disney.
The one that recently, well, not recently. The one that I didn't get the hate for it when it first came out because I watched the movie first, then read the book. Was with Aragon, the dragon, the Aragon trilogy. I don't know what it's called, but I watched the movie and I'm like, it's not bad. I don't get the hate. And then I read the book and I was like, now I get the hate. I totally get the hate. That's not a good adaptation of the movie. One of the ones that we were, I got a stack of stuff sitting over here. I need to move some stuff around here. But literally, this right here, F. Paul Wilson's The Keep. This is one of my favorite books, and I love the movie.
But the movie is
But
just...
it's two vastly different things. Same basic principle. Everything else is completely different. And it's funny because I have The Keep on VHS and on Laserdisc, and I think it's finally coming out on Blu-ray somewhere overseas, which I'm hoping it's region free so I can get a copy. It's Michael Mann directed it. The Michael Mann who goes on to Miami Vice and stuff like that. But they don't. No one wants anything to do with that. And I love both The Keep and The Keep.
There's a case where the adaptation is its own thing, but
Yeah.
it stands alongside, like they're two pillars.
Yeah, definitely. And the other one that's like that is World War Z. World War Z, the book is chronicling this guy traveling all over the world after the zombie outbreak, and he tells all these stories. And yeah, there it is. That is signed by Max Brooks.
I met Max Brooks.
Yeah,
He's a cool guy.
This is the one Joe got signed for you. You got yours is
The
one.
comic, the
Yeah.
graphic novel that's the historical zombie outbreaks.
Yep. I have the zombie survival guide
By
signed by
Max Brooks. You know what? For the longest time, I had no idea he was related to,
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. I just thought, it's a coincidence. He just has the last name Brooks. Nope, he's Mel Brooks, Max Brooks.
But the movie to World War Z and the as I'm trying to put these away here, the book to the movie, two vastly different things.
Thing is, apparently the movie started off as a more direct adaptation, but it went through so many different rewrites and so many, I think Max Brooks made a statement on it where he talks about, I'm not really mad because it's just it just barely resemble,
Yeah.
he's just there's probably someone who's, who wrote the main character, one of the many script writers is probably mad that his character his version of the character got shafted, but
And the fact that they keep talking about making World War Z 2, and it's it's what the hell? Seriously.
World War Z,
The book is really, really good. It's written bizarrely. Like I said, it's a journal.
it's a chronicle.
It's chronicling this guy's adventures across the United States as he finds out. He tells stories of he's getting told all this information about during the zombie outbreak, And one of the best things is that he talks about that there's a section where there's a group of LARPers who think they're going to go into battle against zombies with prop weapons, essentially, and they get murdered.
Just eviscerated.
And then you find out that the best weapon against the zombies is basically a Shaolin spade, where it's got like the shovel end and then the weighted end, so it's a proper tool against the undead.
Well, there's the Zombie Survival Guide is actually a real fun read. It's like he created this whole lore around it. Like it's not just generic. Like there's this. It's written in a universe where
Yeah, I mean it's literally telling you how to deal with the zombie outbreak.
But it's like it's his like virus that happened in.
And yet
World War
again,
Z.
signed by Max Brooks.
Yeah.
So
I read that book religiously.
yeah,
when I was a
because
kid.
this is literally the old copy, the torn up, beat up. I don't know how many times you took this to school.
I would read it.
I've loaned this to I don't know how many people. It's been crushed. It's been wrinkled. This actually looks like a survival guide. So I actually have two of them, one signed and one not. But yeah, those World War Z is vastly different. But yet again, two different things called by the same name, created by the same guy. And it's the same way with the Keep. It's two vastly different things created by the same guy. And then they did the comic book version of it, which I'm not digging out right now because it's buried, which is really, really close to the book. So there's my
The Keep comic.
Yeah, the Keep comic. There's my other copy of the Keep.
Got two
And
copies.
yeah, one of them is
Looks like a reprint.
it is that one back there is a first printing. See, but this one is 869 out of 1,000 signed by F. Paul Wilson.
That's rad.
So yeah, that's one of my babies right there. But
How about we bring up something where the adaptation is superior to the just flat out superior to the original?
the Thing.
Yeah,
The Thing versus The Thing from Outer Space. John Carpenter's The Thing
is superior.
Is superior. Mind you, I get the fact that it's done 30 years later. It's done with better special effects, everything else like that. But that is a superior movie. Same one with The Fly. Cronenberg's The Fly.
Mm-hmm.
That is a superior movie to the original Fly. Don't get me wrong. I love the original Fly. I love the original Thing from Outer Space.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are great movies, but
I think my favorite scene from the original The Thing from Outer Space is the scene where he walks in and then everyone just owns the shit out of him, throws fire on him. Just
oh yeah, because he was a vegetable man. But those were probably superior to the original. I'm trying to think. There are some other ones because some people don't remember that they were actually remakes. There are people to this that do not realize that John Carpenter's The Thing and David Cronenberg's The Fly were remakes of older movies.
I knew about The Fly, but as a kid, I never knew about the whole. I was like, wait, there was The Thing was based off something.
Yeah, and that's based off a book.
Mm-hmm.
It's Who Goes There? It's a short story.
Joe has read the short story. He knows a bit more about it than I do. Okay,
well, you get into a lot of this stuff, especially early sci-fi. They took the basic principle and just took it in a really roundabout way. A lot of like the trying to think the H.G. Wells Things to Come, stuff like that. You get we'll sell your dreams wholesale. That's Total Recall. Vastly different from the book to the movie. We have Starship Troopers.
Vastly different.
And I believe, as much as I liked Starship Troopers Heinlein, but that was in the 50s.
Starship Troopers, the movie is better.
Is a vastly better movie. It's
better.
It's
better.
Yeah. The same basic principles in those though, but it carries better. Man, seriously. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I
At
think
that point, it's a very loose adaptation.
oh,
It's
super.
At that point, it's more of inspired by.
Well, even the term,
It takes that general, like, that theme and makes its own thing from it. So it's kind of an adaptation, but it's not at the same time.
Well,
It's an homage.
yeah, there's very little outside of replicants and
The whole theme of
the theme, like Blade Runner doesn't even appear in the book. That's from a William S. Burroughs book, where a Blade Runner is someone who sells stolen medical equipment. And it's two completely things, but they're adaptations. You want to get technical. Okay, this is one is if you ever watch this, I am a huge comic book nerd. But here we go. We have triple shot. We have this version of Captain America, this adaptation of Captain America, and then the final adaptation of Captain America.
Captain America.
Yeah, but this was the best we got in the 90s, and this was the best we got in the 70s. And this is great because it has Christopher Lee in it.
Just like Ewan McGregor, Christopher
Lee
Lee
makes everything better.
Yeah, he could be in a literal sewer,
And he would have made that
he
sewer
would
better.
make that sewer better.
Well, and a lot of the adaptations, like this was the best that they could do in the 70s.
I don't know, best they could do.
But it was best this was made for TV.
Yeah,
A lot of people did not even remember this existed.
I bet a lot of people don't even know this exists.
Yeah, this is a lot of people didn't even know.
Mr. Rubber Ears Cap.
Oh yeah, I've had a few of these come through the store because people bought that thinking it was this.
Oh no.
So yeah, they bought this thinking this was this. I'm like, you couldn't tell that is not that guy? I'm like, look at that. It looks super cheap. And then you look on the back of it and you can see the rubber ears. And the shitty red skull.
The story of the Fantastic Four movie,
Oh yeah.
where it was just they made a movie just so they could keep the rights.
And the worst part about it is that's probably the best looking Doctor Doom ever. That's the
In a
best
movie,
adaptation of Doctor Doom.
Honestly, the unreleased Fantastic Four movie isn't horrible.
No, for given the fact that was made on $1 million, you would never know that movie was only made for $1 million.
Well, there are bits and pieces that reveal that, it had a budget and it
Yeah.
was never... Like, the whole thing is that Doctor Doom, he's not dubbed over. He is just studio audio, so he's like...
He's like, I'm gonna have to call in Richards.
Oh, fuck you up, Richards.
And the Thing is actually probably the best looking thing.
Man in a costume,
Man in a rubber suit, yes. Better than god awful the Trank
naked ring.
Fan 4 stick. Fan 4 stick's thing is horrible looking, and I like where they were going with Fan 4 stick, but
it doesn't change the fact that it's a bad
it's
movie.
just not a very good movie. I know people love that movie because of what it did with the character, and I think if we ever got to see Trank's version of it, because I've seen little clips and little sketches of something like he there was a Herbie robot in there.
Well,
there was a Fantasticar.
The thing is, Fantastic Four is inherently cheesy.
Oh yeah.
And everyone tries to make it serious.
Yeah,
and that's the what made these other movies fail.
Well, the thing is, the Fantastic Four would work great because Fantastic Four is a pretty cosmic team. Went in the Guardians of the Galaxy direction.
Just make a fun movie.
Yeah, that would
make
be
just have the guts to make it silly.
Oh yeah.
Fan 4 stick is like it's got to be uber gritty.
And mind you, the Fox early 2000s ones
starring young Cap as the Human
Yeah,
Torch.
Chris Evans as Johnny and
that one is
Jessica.
like one of them so bad it's good types because they're really cheesy.
Oh man, I'll tell you what,
They're cheesy, but they're in this weird state where they want to be taken seriously, but it loops around to being cheesy.
I think if they would have just embraced the cheese,
they started doing that a bit.
They did it in the second one.
Yeah.
And the thing is the second one, the
It's
Silver
the better movie.
The Silver Surfer is great in that movie. I really liked what they went with it. I think the design and stuff looked really good.
I like... Everyone thought that Galactus is just going to be a big cloud, but then... Spoilers for an ancient movie here. When Silver Surfer's going into the cloud and you see the helmet.
You can see Galactus inside the storm. Mm-hmm. Inside the cloud. Mm-hmm. And I think the cloud was his ship, is what it was intended
to be.
Yeah. And the fact that the cloud is not Galactus.
Yeah, we thought the cloud was going to be Galactus, so it's going to be, oh, come on. This sucks. But then, big funny purple hat. Yes!
Yeah, but it's all in shadow, which kind of sucks.
But the fact that we got that much in an era where... This was during the era of superhero movie. This was like Daredevil,
X-Men,
Catwoman, X-Men. This is when superhero movies were getting their
Oh yeah, they were really trying to find their footing.
Superhero movies really didn't take off until Iron Man in 2008.
No, they went before that because you had
the X-Men movies.
You had the Blade movie, which blew up huge.
Well,
and people forget that was a Marvel movie in the beginning, and that was Marvel's first real big foray into
to the point. Well, the thing is, Blade is kind of like at this point, it's Blade 1 and 2. Blade 3 came out, and then everyone hated Blade 3. Blade 3 is not great. But the funniest thing about Blade 3 is fucking. I think I already talked about this scene where there's a scene where he's supposed to have his he's supposed to be looking around. But Wesley Snipes was just, being, combative during filming. And he kept his eyes closed. So what they did was they CGI'd his eyes. And if you can tell... And it's hilarious.
Yeah, because he did not... He was high most of the time. Did not want to be on set.
Did not want to be on film.
He's just... It is
Triple H...
Triple H, yeah. But you got Ryan Reynolds as Hannibal King. And that is great into itself. I love that we got,
We're away. You know what? I'm not even going to say we're off topic because it's just a given at this point.
Yeah,
we're just going to fly all over
We're going to
the
go off topic and come back around, then go back off again. Okay, we're going to get back on topic.
One of the best adaptations there.
But it's funny because for those of you who don't know, there's Middleman. Middleman is an adaptation of a comic book. And it's funny because...
It covers the comic book up until a certain point, and then it just goes...
Well, it's because this series got canceled.
Well, the thing is, it expanded from the comic book for a bit, and then it got canceled.
Yeah.
But then it came back around... The finale was made into a comic book.
The finale that never got finished was a comic book, and then you could get that. And
it was the final page was penned by the guy who did the original comic.
A live-action TV series on ABC Family in 2008.
If that show wasn't on ABC Family, it would have went on for a bit longer.
Yeah, ABC Family is not known for keeping their shows going. And... Natalie Morales is in this. She is great. I can't remember the dude's name that plays the middleman off the top of my head.
I reference the milk line in this all the time.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Like good old-fashioned cow squirt.
Boom! But, holy crap. Oh, Matt Kessler. Yeah. This...
It's a silly, fun series. It's good. It's got...
Yeah, it's the middleman, saving the world so you don't have to. And it's fun. It's dumb. It's hilarious. It's the comic book.
It embraces it's sort of like a little bit of X-Files, a little bit of.
It's just goofy. If you ever get a chance, find this. Watch it. It is great.
Heck, the original comic's really good too.
Yeah. Find the comic book. It's Javier Grillo Marxuach is Marxuach, and artist Les McLean did the comic book. This is good stuff right here. I don't know if I have the comic book easily accessible behind me.
No, it's not in there. I think I remember.
I think it's over there.
I read the crap out of that comic.
Yeah,
It's a
but
good comic.
but if you ever get a chance, this is a great adaptation of a comic book series.
It's pretty accurate for a bit, but then it got like when the comic, because the comic ended,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is, it doesn't reach that ending point. It comes to its own ending point.
And then we get the ending from the comic. We get this, so this is pretty good. Right now, I'll tell you who's been killing it on adaptations to video or Blu-ray. DC. Holy shit!
Birmingham.
God, Batman, the Gotham by Gaslight, the Dark Knight Returns.
Part 1 and 2 are both really
Holy
good.
shit! They're putting
It's
these
got
out.
RoboCop as Batman.
Yeah, Peter Weller as grizzled old Batman. I never knew that RoboCop needed to be Batman until I watched this, and then his voice as grizzled ass old Batman is great. Don't get me wrong, there are some hits. There's a lot of hits. There's
misses.
There's a couple misses. There's a couple that you will look at and go, "Oh shit." Under the Red Hood.
Under the Red Hood.
Oh my god. Under the Red Hood is probably one of the best translations.
We talk about it all the
yeah,
time.
Literally, I just watched it again today. It is probably one of the best translations from...
Because it partially adapts the end of the...
Lonely Death in the Family.
And it kind of, it kind of does away with the weird bit that I didn't really like, where it's like Joker goes to the Middle East and becomes
Yeah, it becomes
an ambassador, and thus Batman can't touch it. They remove that completely and entirely. It's just gone, done.
Yeah,
the weird subplot with Jason Todd's mom.
Yeah, that's all gone. But they tighten it up at the beginning, and then they do the Under the Red Hood storyline from the comics. The guy who wrote the comic wrote the movie version. It's great. It has some of the. It's almost like it's heartbreaking. There's some scenes in there, and mind you, I gotta give a whole lot away. Damn thing's 10 years old now. But there's literally scenes.
We all know that Jason Todd is Red Hood.
Yeah,
but
the scene where Jason Todd confronts Batman about the Joker, it is one of the ones where you're just like, it kicks you right in the feels, and it's
my favorite explanation of the whole Batman no killing rule. It turns it into an inherently selfish thing, because everybody knows Joker should die at this point.
And the fact that Batman doesn't is, and it's funny because it is the fact after the first time Batman caught the Joker and didn't kill him, is Batman responsible for all the deaths that happen after that? Because if he would have taken out the Joker.
I love there's even the line in Dark Knight Returns where he's like, all the people I've killed by letting you live.
Yep.
I never kept count. I did. I know, and I love you for it.
It's like I said,
but where Todd is flipping his shit, and Batman is just like, if I do it, I won't be able to stop.
Oh yeah.
Where he just kind of, he's like, and Todd's like, I don't give a shit.
He goes, I understand
if Joker killed you, I would have killed him.
Yeah, I love it. He goes, there's a scene where he goes, I'm not telling you to kill Harvey. I'm not telling you to kill the Penguin. I'm not telling you to kill. He goes, just him. He goes, he took you away from me. He goes,
he took me away from you.
Yeah.
And if he did this, it's great. It's fantastic. It's a good movie.
Oh yeah, dude. If you ever get a chance, if you got DC Universe, the online service, and soon
it's on there.
If you soon to be on HBO Max probably, watch Batman Under the Red Hood. It might be the best.
It's just accurate enough.
Yeah.
To be good, but it's also it knows when to take creative liberties.
Yeah.
That's the sign of a good adaptation.
It might be the best animated super comic book movie to the date. I'm gonna go on a limb, say it might be the best animated cartoon movie to date, and there's a bunch of them out there I love, but that might be the best one.
Well, I'm going ahead and fish. One of my other favorites.
So we're going to go to commercial now, and we'll be right back after these messages.
And now, the countdown is over. Last week in V, the final battle, the world rejoiced. Mankind had just claimed victory in its war with the Visitors.
We've lost. Diana, it's over.
Earth had one secret weapon, the red dust, discovered by Mike Donovan and Juliette Parrish. When not protected by antidote, the toxin proved fatal to aliens, but harmless to other life forms. Once scattered into the atmosphere, it drove the Visitors into retreat, but drove the alien leader Diana to nuclear revenge. Donovan had no way to stop the countdown to destruction.
Try!
It was the star child, Elizabeth, half human and half alien, who amazingly saved the world. Tonight, Diana is back. This time, she's mad. Tonight, the Visitors return. They're plotting a war of conquest, a war of revenge. Prepare yourself now for the premiere of V, the series.
Continuation on 782.
What does it take to transform raw materials into fresh ideas? Imagination. At Quasar, we're obsessed with imagination and what it can bring you.
Return on 915. That would be the farthest.
Quasar, out of our minds, into your hands.
And we're back.
We now return
Return.
to the Group Therapy TV podcast.
Already in progress. DC
Right.
DC has got
Well, this, not
no.
DC,
Okay, yeah, it's not DC.
but here's some stuff. Here is something where I'd argue that the adaptation is better than the original story, because I sat down and read the trade paperback for the Flashpoint Paradox run. The Flashpoint, and I watched the animated movie first. Honestly, I think the animated movie does a lot of stuff better.
I think what this one is I agree. I think it tightens it. It streamlines it, and it makes it.
And it has, in my opinion, the things they do change are for the better. I'm gonna set up a spoiler alert right now. Specifically, the ending in the comic. Chasing the cat out of here. In the comic, Thomas Wayne Batman just stabs. He just stabs Reverse Flash, and that. But in the movie, he shoots him in the head, and it's a great scene. He's in the whole thing, and then you just hear, and he's like, oh,
Yep. Well,
and then I think it works better because it's that whole inherent clash of Thomas Wayne is not Bruce, so he just he just shoots and executes Reverse Flash in just cold blood, shoots him in the back of the head. A lot of my favorite moments in this just weren't in the comic.
what's great is that the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War is great because it technically spins out of this.
I think that's an original.
This is original, but
It's sort of the whole thing is that this started off the sort of animated New 52 universe.
yeah, and this is the last of the animated New 52 universe, and it
Spoiler alert: everything is fucked up.
and everything is the Flash's fault because of this. The fact that
always the Flash's fault.
it's always Flash's fault, and it's a great. I mean, it's loosely based on some stuff, but it is
mostly an original movie.
Yep. It's. I love this one, and it is. I think is the no, it's the second rated R.
Because the first one was Justice League Dark.
No, Killing Joke.
Well, the Justice League Dark, and then Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Justice League Dark was also rated R.
Okay.
I looked it up.
Okay.
So this is the third one, technically.
Yeah.
Heck, I'm surprised this... Like I said, I'm surprised this isn't rated R. It's rated PG-13. Fucking Batman blows, like, a hole through Reverse Flash's head. There's brain matter.
That's
It's
what
like,
I love about this, is that he's still alive. Because he's moving faster than death. So he's not dead, but he's dead.
Well, that's the thing in, that's his plot line in, Hell to Pay, too.
Yeah. So he's faster than death.
He's running on fumes.
Yep. And today I just scored the first appearance of Reverse Flash.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, graded 3.0. It's still an expensive-ass book. Graded CGC 3.0. Yeah, this one.
It's a loose adaptation of the original Death of Superman story, but it does a lot of stuff really good. It simplifies the multiple Superman, just one Superman clone. Mm-hmm. And it really streamlines the story, makes it a bit easier to chew.
Now they did go back and technically redo this one recently.
There's the new 52 version. Where it's part 1 is the Death of Superman, and then there's Reign of the Superman.
Yep.
And those are really good.
Yeah, I was surprisingly
I was watching
good.
Reign of the Superman a while back, and that was really good. That was awesome. Here's an example of taking liberties and still making something really good. Raimi's Spider-Man is wildly different. He's pretty different from regular Spider-Man, but Raimi took liberties, but also kept it accurate where it counted. Mm-hmm. And Raimi made a fun, really good Spider-Man movie. He made a really good Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 3 needed more time in the oven and less studio interference.
Yeah, I think...
Because I looked into the story of that, and... everybody makes fun of the dancing Spidey scene. He's not supposed to be cool during that. It's Parker thinking he's cool and looking like a complete tool. That's why everyone's like just walking by him and ignoring him and giving him like looks.
Well, what I think is great is that Sam Raimi said one time, which is easier to believe? Because one of the things I was a little like, is the fact that he shot the web and the web was actually part of his...
It made the biological weapon.
Was because what would it be easier to believe? That when he got the spider powers, he developed the ability to shoot spider webs, or that the kid in high school developed an adhesive that 3M would have killed people for?
Well, it's like he made he toned Parker down a bit to make him more accessible to a wider audience, and there's nothing wrong with that. Personally, I'm a big fan of Super Genius Parker.
Oh yeah.
Because
I like the fact that
also Willem Dafoe is a fantastic Green Goblin.
Oh my god,
Willem Dafoe is also one of them guys who's good in any movie.
Yeah, he's good in a lot of stuff. There's movies that I've watched with Willem Dafoe in, and he's the best thing of the entire movie. And the one of the funniest things about that one is that, you know, this was one of the movies that kicked off comic adaptations huge, like it ended up being. I mean, we had
if
Blade.
It weren't for Spider-Man, we wouldn't have had Catwoman and Daredevil.
It started off with
horrible movies.
Blade, then the X-Men, then Spider-Man. We had all these. Well, no, Spider-Man, then the X-Men. Was it? Yeah, one of the two.
Catwoman is a horrible movie and a horrible adaptation.
Oh, it's atrocious. It's not even Catwoman. It's based on a completely different character, and just happened to be named Catwoman. And the fact is that what the problem is, it was a movie. From what I understand from the backstory, is that movie had to be made. There was some sort of thing going on because originally it was going to be Michelle Pfeiffer returning as Selena Kyle, going to be a direct sequel to Batman Returns. Then all the rewrites started happening. Everything started happening. It kept
Then
getting
it got
shelved.
weird Frenchman director.
And then it just
Halle Berry. He filmed the movie as an excuse to film Halle Berry's ass.
And it's, I mean, there's worse things to film a movie for, but
Halle Berry is the best part of that movie.
yeah, but
Even if she is acting weird for 50% of it.
there's a whole horrible backstory of why that movie had to get made. It wasn't that it was they were going to try because they had money tied up into it already. They didn't want to lose the money that they had. It's a whole weird story.
I don't know anything about the Daredevil movie. I just know that that's bad.
The Daredevil movie, mind you, when the Daredevil movie came out, I didn't mind it. I liked Michael Clark Duncan as that the adaptation of the Kingpin.
He is a good Kingpin. That's about it.
The
Matt Murdock is a wuss in that. He's always like, and the worst part is the movie version of Daredevil has sort of poisoned the rest, like how people perceive Daredevil for years.
Because then we go back, then we get the adaptation of Netflix's Daredevil,
which I barely watched it, but I hear it's incredible.
I love it. The fact that they do the one take, what looks like one take fight scenes in the hallways, and it's brutal as shit.
They kind of go back to Daredevil's roots as a street level martial artist fucker.
Yeah,
beating shit.
Well, one of the best things about Daredevil is and it's never implied that he actually has. This is part of his superpowers, and I believe it is. Daredevil has the uncanny balance. He has the radar sense. He's extremely good at martial arts and stuff like that. But his body can take a just huge
He can
amount.
keep going when other men would die.
And I think that's maybe not his power. I think that that's something he got from his dad being a boxer. And I don't know if you consider it a power. Or,
it's in the same way that Batman's willpower is a power.
He can just take
just keep going,
brutal amount of punishment, and keep going and keep going and keep going, and he'll get beat down, and then stand back up and be like, all right, let's keep going.
But Death Battles, Nightwing would win because he has the sonic batarangs, and then he would kill Matt Murdock. Because he has really sensitive hearing. I will never forgive.
Daredevil's fought Claw. And I'll tell you that's the dude made of sonic energy.
Daredevil would spank Nightwing.
One thing is, I don't think Nightwing would ever see Daredevil coming. Next thing you know, he'd think there's a fight and he gets whacked in the head. Boom!
He just gets smacked in the head with a billy club.
Yeah. I mean, he's fought ninjas and
he's fought ninjas that
he's fought undead
ninjas that keep coming back from the dead.
Okay, now we're talking about undead ninjas.
Blade of the Immortal.
Blade of the Immortal.
Always looking for an excuse to talk about Blade of the Immortal. God. Just like how I'm always looking for an excuse to talk about video games.
I cannot tell you how much. This is the manga of Blade of the Immortal. Dark Horse Comics used to produce it back in the day. It's done.
It's about a guy with bloodworms that makes him immortal, so he goes around killing bad guys.
Yeah, he's got to kill 100 evil men, which he kills well more than 100 during the series. It started out, the comic book versions was actually standard American comic book size for the longest time, and then Dark Horse decided to do it in the actual, like the manga format.
So it's the proper left to right.
No, it's still the left to right, but it's
Americanized.
Yeah, it's the Americanized, but they produce it in the manga format with the smaller print and stuff like that. This went from the manga to the anime, which I don't have the anime here with me. which ran 20.
Then there's the live action film.
You can go. Go find. I believe it's still on Amazon Prime. Blade of the Immortal, the anime, which is phenomenal. It follows about the first 4 years of the books. I say 4 years because I'm talking.
He fights. The main protagonist, the Blade of the Immortal, fights in the same way that Wolverine fights, in that he knows he can't die, so he will do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
He will, like, literally get himself slashed up. Because, like, what are you going to do? Kill me? You can't, bitch.
And then this came out, and Takashi Miyake.
You talked about him before.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Takashi is one of my favorite Japanese directors. His take on this is great. I mean, this is
Keeps up the hyper brutality in action.
This is about the first year's worth of comics, so it's the first big overlying story arc. The fact is, there are scenes in this movie that are taken directly from the books, and there's stuff in here that I didn't think they would be able to get away with. But it's also Japan.
Japan has like weird laws regarding violence and
there's
gore.
there's really no nudity in this, just super hard, brutal action and gore. There's great because the beginning of it starts out and it's all in black and white because when he loses it and he kills all the people. The actors are spot on. I don't know a whole lot about some of the Japanese actors that they got, but they adapt from this to this is pretty damn close. Same way with the anime. The anime is almost.
I was watching the anime. It was awesome. I was watching it with him, and we were just like.
It's almost it's like a direct translation,
Except the Hindu symbol on his back.
Yeah, they edit that out in here too.
They had to. Thing is, he has a swastika on his back, but it's not a Nazi thing. It's the original intention of the symbol.
What's funny is they even have a disclaimer in every book.
Where it's like, it's not Nazis.
It's not Nazis.
Please.
It's the symbol of good luck and yeah. See, there it is. It's about the translations. The swastika, the main character, Blade of the Immortal. Manji is taking the Crux Gamata as both his name and his personal symbol. The symbol is known as the swastika. The name derived from the Sanskrit swastika, meaning welfare and well, and he is. It's a prosper and good fortune. So
he would probably chop up Nazis.
Oh yeah, he would definitely not fuck up Nazis, because he'd be like, "Really? That's what you're gonna do? All right," and just slice everybody up. It is like I said, almost everything from the comic. The manga to the anime to the live action, I don't think they did wrong on anything.
Wait, a moral expert right there.
Yeah, and there are some people who don't really like this, and it does condense down a bit of the original first story arc because they got to. Because
everybody complains when stuff is condensed.
Don't get me wrong.
Sometimes for good reasons. Sometimes it's like it's better that it was condensed.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's a long movie too, and it fits. And people, I say a year's worth of books, but you figure that's only like 4 of these. Into
really, when it comes to adaptations, Scott Pilgrim, the movie, was like it had to condense down shit ton of book into one movie.
What had to 10?
Yeah. Not 10. It was actually being made as the final volume was being written, and Brian Lee O'Malley worked with
Edgar Wright,
and
the fact that that's a comic book translation of a movie that has Punisher, Superman, Captain America, Captain Marvel, It's got a bunch of people before they became big superheroes. Except
Also, my biggest complaint about the Scott Pilgrim movie is the fact that Michael Cera is Scott.
yeah.
I don't really get, like, because in the books, it's just like, it beats you over the head that Scott is not a good person. But they kind of tone that down in the movie to make it more palatable.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Scott Pilgrim's not a good person because what is he, like 20?
In the comics, he's 23 dating a 17-year-old who just turned 17.
Yeah.
But in the movie, they had to tone it down. He's now 22 dating a 17-year-old that's about to turn 18.
Yeah.
Like I said, they had to. Yeah, Michael Cera, like Scott, like Michael Cera Scott is a completely different person from book Scott, because Michael Cera Scott is, he's playing Michael Cera. He's playing awkward dude.
Michael Cera only ever plays Michael Cera in anything Michael Cera has ever been in. That's like
I like Michael Cera as an actor. He can be funny. He's a talented actor. But it's too bad he gets typecast as one dude.
He plays the exact same character in everything he's ever been in. I mean, that's unfortunate because you get there's a lot of people who have turned that into an entire career. Jack Nicholson plays Jack Nicholson in everything Jack Nicholson does.
Did he played the Joker? No, he played Jack Nicholson in clown
as
makeup.
the Joker. He's not Jack Nicholson playing the Joker. He's Jack Nicholson as
clown
the
makeup.
as the Joker. The Joker as Jack Nicholson. Okay. You get a lot of the anime or manga to anime to live action.
Then you have visual novel to anime to live action to light novel to anime.
There's a lot of hit and misses on the live action.
We need to talk about the best adaptation in the world, Dragon Ball Evolution. With white Goku.
Who has to fight some bullies in high school.
It's him, John Goku. Thing is, I don't think his name of son is ever brought up in the movie. So and Goku is Goku's last name. It's
Son Goku.
Yeah, he's Son Goku. He's Sun Wukong. He's Son Goku. He's only referred to as Goku in Dragon Ball Evolution, same as the English dub of the anime. But occasionally the anime will let slip that he is Son Goku.
Mm-hmm.
But, which means that I could also be misremembering, but I do not remember them calling him Son Goku at all in the movie. So he could be John Goku, which is the funniest thing.
Well, the worst part about it is that
he's like, it's Dragon Ball Evolution is the joke adaptation. It's like being a Saiyan is hard, but you know what's even harder? Being an American high school student.
Yeah. Every
Every joke about bad localization and bad adaptation is committed by Dragon Ball Evolution. James Marsters, I feel sorry for him because he just wanted to be something in Dragon Ball because he loves Dragon Ball. He got to play fused. He's Zamasu now, and he does a really good job as Zamasu. He's good as Zamasu.
He hams it up and just does it and enjoys his time as the character.
As Piccolo. Piccolo.
I have just a weird love for the live action versions of anime. And I know that there's some of them that people consider horrible, and I own them. I got the live action Devilman.
Oh no!
I love the live action Devilman. It's bad.
You like it in the sense that it's so bad it's good.
Yeah. I have live action Cutie Honey.
Oh no!
And it's so bad it's good. I have the live action of one of the greatest animes ever and greatest manga ever. Another one that's a great manga, great anime, great live action movie. And what is it, Brandon? One hit, Mekazawa.
Oh yeah, Cromartie. Cromartie
High.
Do you know what I want? I actually want to bring something up about Cromartie, the live action movie. The guy who led the movie had never watched an episode of the anime or read the manga, and he just wung it the whole time. And that is the essence of Cromartie.
Cromartie High is
it's an incredible. It has the best English dub.
It is a
second only to only to Cowboy Bebop's English dub.
I'm gonna say this. It is a slice of life fever dream, is what Cromartie High is.
Cromartie High is just downright. I would have to say it's my favorite anime ever.
It's probably number 2. I as much as I love Bubblegum Crisis, that's one of my favorite animes of all time.
This isn't. I went back and watched it. This isn't just nostalgia talking. Cromartie High still holds up and is hilarious. Track down a DVD, track down a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I said, its English dub is great. It's second only to the Cowboy Bebop English dub.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know what sort of eldritch magic. I don't know what deal with the devil they got, but Cromartie High's English dub is incredible.
The fact.
And I also love that Cromartie High just completely it starts off with that concept and it just completely just throws that concept away.
It's a high school kid's slice of life that just goes in a horribly weird direction.
It's a parody of the Bancho manga. Like the whole Bancho, tough high school delinquents fighting. It's a parody of that by making it sort of like this weird hyper stylized slice of life where it's like it's like I said, it's about these Bancho high school super tough dudes who fight all the time, but there's almost never actually any fighting on screen
because they can never get that far. Something bad happens before they can ever fight. The fact that one student is a gorilla.
He's just a gorilla. It's great.
One student is Freddie Mercury. And his name...
Nobody even knows if he goes to the school. He's just silent Freddie Mercury.
Every time they go to say something, they're like, Freddie, what do you got to say? And he'll go to say something.
No. Freddie doesn't even go to... all he does is emote. He's just...
But the best student...
You're mixing him up with Hokuto's lackey.
Yeah.
Who's always trying to say his name,
yep.
But everything always interrupts him and keeps him from saying his name.
The best one is Mekazawa.
The robot voice he has.
The robot.
Hey, wait! Don't call him a robot. Like he's just a little funny. Who cares if he's a little funny looking? He's just an average Japanese high school kid.
He thinks he's an average, but he gets turned into a motorcycle at one point. But he still thinks
he got into an accident. Why are you making fun of him? He's not a robot.
But if you ever get a chance, go find Cromartie High. Go find the manga. Go find the anime.
The anime is a fantastic adaptation.
Go find the live action movie. All are great across the board. I actually recently, let's see what I got. I got Battle of the Planet or Gotcha Man. Mm-hmm. I have the live action version of Gotcha Man.
You had to keep yourself from calling it Battle of the Planets.
Battle of the Planets because
that's the American name.
Or Super Ninja Science Team Gotcha Man. Mm-hmm. Battle of the Planet. I'm going to say it again. It's Battle of the Planets. Gotcha Man is great. I know some people who didn't like it, and they do try to shoehorn a romance in there, which was never in the original manga or anime. Mm-hmm. But I do like the new version of it, the live action. Space Battleship Yamato is great. Mm-hmm. It's Star Blazers that we get here in America. I also got like Cass Hearn. I have some other live action anime.
And you brought up,
and then this one isn't really live action.
It's
done
3D
by
CGI.
Yeah, it's done by. I want to say it's done by Catch Up Entertainment, but is stupid good. And this is streaming a lot for free on a lot of things. Captain Harlock Space Pirates, which is Arcadia My Youth. Captain Harlock. This is one of the best adaptations. period. It's stylized. It's real looking, but also has the stylized anime look.
It's a nice blend of art. Like, it's a nice blend that, like, gets a good thing.
Oh yeah, dude! It's Harlock Space Pirate. I bought this a few years ago, and I guarantee you, I've watched this stupid thing 20 times. It is just really, really good. It's not a short movie either. If you watch Arcadia in My Youth, that is not a short anime movie either. That shit's like 3 hours long. But oh my god, just Captain Harlock is a great adaptation. We'll talk about video game adaptations, and we'll talk about those right after these messages. Because we're
Look, I got a McDonald's treat over here. Come on.
This year, help us make Halloween safe for the kids with McDonald's Trick or Treat certificates. Just buy a $1 book filled with 12 McDonald's dessert goodies to give as safe treats, and you'll get our jack-o'-lantern for the front door, so kids and parents will know where to find McDonald's safe treats.
There's another one.
So buy McDonald's treat coupons and get a jack-o'-lantern for your door.
Trick or treat!
And make this Halloween a safe and happy one.
Introducing a Plymouth, engineered with quality and luxury to challenge Buick Century and Old Sierra, but for over 1,000 less. Introducing Caravel. Match it. Caravel, with luxury equipment and comfort for a family of 6. Caravel, with the 550 protection plan and the option of turbo power. The 550 Plymouth Caravel. Match it if you can. Plymouth, best built, best backed American cars.
And we're back. We were going to talk about video game to movie translations. Hit and miss.
There's no Mortal Kombat here, but Mortal Kombat the movie was so good, it literally influenced the games. Kano was originally Japanese. The movie made him Australian. Ed Boon loved Australian Kano so much, Australian Kano became canon.
No,
a lot of the movie stuff that the movie did was just implemented into the game characters.
Well, one of the things is that was really the first.
It's really good. It's a fun, stupid movie in its own right.
Oh yeah,
it's a great adaptation. It's so good you forget that there's no blood in it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I go, there's blood in it, and I had to go back and rewatch it.
Not even when Shang Tsung gets impaled through his chest, there's not a drop of blood on that spike. He's just like, oh, he gets impaled through, but there's no blood.
Yeah, I love the first movie. The second movie is a train wreck. They just tried to.
The third movie is even worse somehow, but it did give us one of the funniest lines. Too bad you will die.
That's the second movie.
No, I thought that was the third movie.
The third movie, there's no third movie. It's the first two movies, then there's the web series.
Well, there's Mortal Kombat, then there was...
Mortal Kombat.
I'm thinking Annihilation wasn't the third movie?
No, it's the second movie.
I always thought...
No.
My brain always made...
No, because then there's the one that came out on...
Is this a fucking Mandela situation?
It's a Mandela effect. You thought there was a third...
Is this... Did I just... Guess... Alright, I'm wrong. I'm done.
But I remember going to the theater and seeing the second Mortal Kombat movie and going, the first one was good. Why isn't this one good? Why didn't they just bring in, Paul W. Anderson?
Because he was busy making these movies that sucked.
You can't even see it. There we go. Resident Evil. I have all of these. I don't mind the Resident Evil movies.
Resident Evil 1 and 2 are alright.
I think
they just get worse and worse as time goes on. The movies are just openly like Paul W.S. Anderson. I love my wife.
Yeah, I gotta keep.
It's just Millie Jovovich.
Keep getting hot wife job. I like these, but yet again, they're the ones that I've distanced themselves from. Resident Evil the movies and Resident Evil the games are two vastly different things. I
The
want
best
to.
Resident Evil movies are the 3D CG animated ones.
Shit, yeah, those are great. Which I
Damn Degeneration. The one with Degeneration is like my favorite one. It's one of the first ones. It's got Leon. It's got Claire. It's got cool airport zombie shooting. It's got...
see, but those are canon.
Yep, those are 100% canon.
Those are 100% canon. That's canon. This is not. I consider these as alternate universe.
They're just openly an alternate universe.
Yeah, these are
Umbrella's even stupider in the movies than they are in the games.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Tomb Raider.
Hey, you remember when Angelina Jolie was Lara Croft?
Remember when she wasn't, like, frighteningly skinny? The first one was good. Second one was kind of...
I have not watched that last one.
Now, the new one, the Tomb Raider, that's really good. That is so good that me and your mom went, and I want to say that is the first movie we watched when we got Movie Pass. We literally got a Movie Pass, like, on Saturday afternoon, and Sunday we went to the movies and went and seen Tomb Raider. I think the girl does a good job. It's that prequel Tomb Raider movie where she becomes
the Tomb Raider.
The Tomb Raider. I think it's fun. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed these, but these are yet again. I think the first one is you consider Tomb Raider. The second one not so much.
Based off that old school arcade game.
Which is upstairs.
Yep.
Which is upstairs.
And it's completely unfathomable how this movie got made. It's like, who the fuck was crawling for a Rampage movie? I haven't thought of... The last Rampage game was on the Wii.
Yep.
And nobody remembers that game.
Nope. Well, what's great about this is it's from Legendary Films.
I think they had the rights, and it was one of those, they needed to make a movie situation to keep a hold of the rights.
Probably. I mean, it does have freaking...
They got The Rock in it, but The Rock will work in about just about anything.
Oh, it's got Brad Pitt, Brad Pitt. I don't know why I'm saying Brad Pitt. It's got, it's got, there's a guy named Brad Pitt on here. It's got The Rock, and it's got Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and it's got Malin Ackerman. So it has The Rock. It's got the comedian, Sam and Dean's dad, or dude from freaking Walking Dead,
Christopher Walken Dead.
And then you got
zombie.
You got Malin Ackerman, who played Silk Spectre. So you have both Silk Spectre and comedian in there. But what's funny is that people thought when this came out, when Legendary Films had this, that this meant that Rampage existed within the
legendary
legendary monster, the Godzilla, so that we were going to get the Rampage monsters in a Godzilla movie. But not gonna lie, I would have liked to seen that. I would have liked to seen George in.
They kind of messed with in the original canon of the games. The monsters were people that turn into giant animal monsters.
Yep,
that's why they have like regular people names.
Yep.
That's why they were like Lizzie and George and Ralph.
Yeah, well, it's George because he's a big monkey. He's George as in Curious George. Lizzie as in the lizard. And Ralph.
Ralph. I don't know.
I
think he was a wolf. I can't remember.
Yeah, there was wolf. There's the rats in the
rats in the second game.
Yeah.
Universal Tour, I think.
Yeah.
Universal Tour was the one I played as a kid.
This is
because we had a Nintendo 64 port.
Yeah, we still got that game here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, this is a fun movie. It's dumb. It's definitely a popcorn movie.
As much as I liked the original arcade Rampage, Universal Tour is just a better game. the Midway, it's got more variety of gameplay. It's a pretty good, fun arcade game.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's silly. It's play Rampage on the Nintendo. Play Rampage Tour on 64. It's good.
Yeah. The one movie that the fans became massively vocal They shelved the movie for what, 6 months or something like that, to basically redo most of the movie to make it look like
not ugly.
Yeah, and that movie is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Jim Carrey as Eggman is the funniest shit.
The fact that they made that the Sonic look nothing like Sonic that we remember.
Oh God, Sonic was fucking hideous.
Looked horrible. And then by
is peak executive thinking, oh, this is marketable, this is cute.
And people were upset until the fact is when that first trailer dropped, people were like, no. And they
redid the special effects.
They went back and redid all the special effects and
now Sonic looks decent.
He looks like Sonic.
He looks good.
Yeah.
And apparently the movie's good. I haven't watched it yet because I haven't watched a whole lot of movies because all I do is play video games.
I haven't watched this because I got to sit down and watch this with Vince.
Because he loves Sonic.
Yeah. I own a Sonic movie, but I haven't watched it yet, and I'm over here talking about it. I'm going to give that that might be a really good translation.
I do know a bit about it. It's a weird... Sonic timeline, Sonic's story makes no sense. It's reboots and shit and whatnot and fucking...
Okay.
I grew up with Sonic Adventure. I didn't quite grow up with Genesis Sonic. I grew up with Sonic Adventure.
You played the hell out of Sonic.
You had the demo disc for the Dreamcast. And I played the shit out of that demo disc. We never actually had a copy of the game until later.
Yeah, but then we got the one that had 1, 2, and 3 on it.
There was no 3. You got the GameCube re-releases.
Okay.
And then we didn't actually...
Oh, no, we
rented the GameCube releases.
We got 1, 2,
because we never actually owned them.
Sonic and Knuckles. And we still got those, but...
Oh, wait, no, there is one. Oh, you were talking about the original Sonic? I thought you were talking about Adventure.
No. I remember you guys playing the hell out of the Sonic cartridges when you got older.
That's because they had the Sonic Mega Collection, which was the GameCube release that had like all the classic Sonic games on it.
All right.
When I was a kid, I went through a big Sonic phase.
Because when we were moving here to this new house, we found your Sonic hats.
Yeah.
And
your Sonic hat.
Yeah, and your shadow hat. It looked like Sonic on your head. All right, we're going to talk about old school adaptation. Because this is a reprint of an old adaptation. But the Aliens illustrated story, this came out in 1979. It was Archie Goodwin and Walt Simonson from back then, Marvel Comics. Everybody knew these guys. But this is the comic book adaptation
of the movie.
Aliens.
It's like a novelization, except a comic.
Yeah, see, back in the day, comic books made novelization or comic book versions of everything.
Comic bookization.
Comic bookizations. They did it with Terminator. They did it with actually didn't do it Terminator. Did it with Terminator 2, Star Wars, Star Trek, Dune, Willow, Labyrinth. Anytime a movie came out,
there's probably a comic.
There was a comic book adaptation of it at one point.
If it wasn't an adaptation, it was just sort of sequel because Marvel ran Star Wars comics that were
it's the first few issues
were the movies.
Then it ran to like issue 40 something, and then those picked up with Empire Strikes Back. And then those ran. But what's funny is that it went Star Wars ran there, and they never put the Return of the Jedi in. They printed the 4-issue miniseries for Return of the Jedi, and that's how we got that. Marvel used to be the king of movie adaptations. Anytime a big movie came out, Marvel was jumping on it. They picked up everything back in the day. Like I said, I remember I have House 2, the second story, the adaptation, Marvel adaptation. 2001 or 2010. They did 2001. They did Logan's Run. Planet of the Apes. Marvel was the
Planet of the Apes. It was more than just the adaptation. They ran stories in the universe.
Oh yeah. Same with 2001, because that's where they introduced Machine Man, who's still a Marvel character to this day.
He just removed. They made Machine Man. And we're like, hey, we like this guy. He's ours.
Marvel did that with the Marvel UK. They introduced Death's Head into the Transformers comics in Marvel UK,
and then they were like,
and then Marvel goes, you know what, we really like this, so we gave him a Marvel UK book, and then they put him in the actual Marvel.
And then they killed him off. And the guy who mainly wrote him made a what if he lived, and that's a really good what if.
Yeah, then they brought him back, so Death's Head now is like still Death's Head, and then the Death's Head has like essentially descendants, and his one descendant is a slacker. So,
well, the thing is, Death's Head is from the future.
Yeah.
He was openly from the future.
Another adaptation, the old Battlestar Galactica. They did these, this is a Marvel comic. They did standard comic book format, they did this size format, and then they did treasury size. Because Marvel, anything that was hot at that time, they jumped on. And then you can get stuff like... oh, alright, here we go.
The Star Wars novelizations.
Yeah, the novelizations, which are adaptations, because some of these improve or are vastly different. If you ever read any of the adaptations for old, especially Halloween, any of those, Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws is an adaptation.
Yeah, of the book Jaws, which is vastly different.
The book Jaws is a surprisingly kind of somber compared to the blockbuster that.
Yeah, they take. There's a lot of stuff that's in the book that never.
He worked with the writer of the book. Worked with what's his face? Steven Spielberg.
Oh, okay.
No, or was that Peter Jackson?
Steven Spielberg.
I can't remember.
And Peter Benchley.
Peter Benchley.
Yeah. You said Peter Jackson.
They were all kind of like on my head. Peter Jackson did King Kong. That's why.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about the King Kong game, which is the King Kong game. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the video game, is better than the movie.
Wolverine Origins, the video game.
X-Men Origins Wolverine, the video game, is better than the movie. Godspeed Raven Software. Oh, you're stuck in the Call of Duty mines.
The best thing is it has Mark Hamill as the voice of Wolverine.
No, that's X2 Wolverine's Revenge.
Okay.
X-Men Origins Wolverine, it's Hugh Jackman playing.
Okay, my bad.
X2 Wolverine's Revenge is Mark Hamill's one and only role as Wolverine, and he nails it. He's a great Wolverine.
He knocks it out of the ballpark.
The fact that he hasn't been Wolverine ever since is kind of crime.
Oh yeah.
I love Steve Bloom. Steve Bloom is also a great Wolverine. I want to see Mark Hamill voice Wolverine again, or hear Wolverine. It's Steve Bloom, huge jacked man, Mark Hamill. The trifecta of good Wolverines, and then the '90s actor. I love the weird '90s Popeye actor voice.
Better than the Australian voice that we got in the old Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and then X-Men: Pride of the X-Men. Don't worry, we ain't.
He's sneaky, sneak. I'm freaking Wolverine.
I don't know how. I don't know why
we take this Canadian man and make him Australian.
I don't know, because Wolverines are known for Australia.
The one thing North America has that even Australia fears, the Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine.
Wolverines are so fucked up. Bears are afraid of them.
Wolverines will take down moose.
You can't hurt a moose.
Dude, I could shoot a moose and it'd piss the moose off. Wolverine would be like, and tear a moose up.
Wolverines and badgers are terror incarnate.
Yeah, honey badgers, because they don't give a shit.
Honey badgers and Wolverines just run. No, you know what? If you find one, you're already dead. You can't even run.
American badgers, or North American badgers, because there's the European badgers, completely different animal, same species, but yeah, it's like
then the honey badger and the wolverine are just like, if you see them, you're just dead. Just give.
Yeah.
You can't run.
I love the picture. There's a picture going around on the internet. It shows a badger and it's completely covered in porcupine quills, and it's like, whatever, just trotting along, and his quills all stuck in his damn thing.
It's like, if it didn't stop me, you won't either.
No, you're not even gonna slow me down.
It's like, it's just food that's a little harder to get.
Okay, I gotta talk about something that's a weird adaptation here. I'm sitting there staring at it from across the room here. Night of the Living Dead. You know what this is an adaptation of?
The Bible?
No. I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Richard Matheson's I Am Legend is the reason we have this.
It's the original book was about vampires, but it was a vampire apocalypse, and it's sort of like there's the prototype for zombies in there.
Mm-hmm. But George Romero loved I Am Legend.
There's also the original adaptation starring Vincent Price.
Yeah, Last Man on Earth.
Yeah.
And they made his homage, which is still yet an adaptation. This is an...
well, it kind of, it's an homage because it follows a different kind of story.
Yeah, but it's
rather than...
It's definitely
it's more of an homage than an adaptation.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
You want to talk about an adaptation, talk about Will Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Will Smith,
I Am Legend. And that is a painful to me because it takes...
The alternate ending of the movie is the better ending.
Yeah.
But that's the ending we didn't get.
That's the ending that was the original ending, but they said that they needed a more upbeat ending.
That we needed a more action-packed ending that would test better with audiences. So but we made a worse movie.
But it completely...
the worst part is the movie's pretty decent. But it's not... It's a loose, very loose adaptation. It's about, instead of being about the last man on Earth and vampires, and it kind of plays into that... With the alternate ending of the movie, it kind of plays into that whole... It kind of plays into what the theme of the original book was, because in the... Spoiler alert for this ancient-ass movie.
And an ancient 1950s book.
Yeah. In the original book, the whole plot twist was that the vampires were... They were originally more mindless and bloodthirsty and more... Essentially, the vampires were evolving and becoming more civilized. They became the new race.
Yeah, he became the boogeyman.
That's what I Am Legend is.
Yeah, he's the legend. He is the legend. He is now their boogeyman. He sneaks in during the day and kills them in their sleep. And you need to watch out, little vampire kid, because the Neville is going to come and get you.
That's literally the last line of the book, as he commits suicide in his jail cell.
Mm-hmm. He's I Am Legend.
And it's a badass line.
And the best part about it is Charlton Heston made one in the 70s, Omega Man. And it's really... I love Omega Man. But it's an adaptation, and I love it for what it is. It's a
pretty loose.
Pretty loose on the adaptation. It's more to the point where the vampires are smart.
Wasn't it the one where those are radiation vampires or something?
No,
or was that was Last Man on Earth? There's one where it was weird radiation shenanigans.
No. Omega Man, it was the disease that caused it.
In the original ending of the Will Smith version, the one that's the better one, the whole thing is that when the mutant people show up, it's revealed that they're sentient because the one he had kidnapped and was experimenting on and practically torturing was sentient and was the mate, the wife of the big leader ones. And he like mimics the tattoo that she's got,
Mm-hmm.
and Will Smith's Neville is like, oh shit,
I fucked up.
oh god, because he thought they were just mind. And the movie sort of hints that they're thinking, they're able to set traps because
Yeah. There's scenes where they set a trap for him.
they fuck with his mannequins that he sets up because he's crazy.
He puts mannequins all over town so he can go get movies from the video store and go talk to mannequins because that way he'll go in there and they're in the video store for him.
Yeah.
Don't want to give too much away. One of
Has one of the most heartbreaking dog death scenes in movie history.
don't kill dogs in movies, man. There's two things you don't do: is kill kids and you don't kill dogs in or animals in movies. And even sometimes kids are acceptable in movies.
Oh, speaking of kids, speaking of killing kids, oh no. Joe was talking about this to me. He wants to make a zombie movie. He wants to make this really serious zombie movie. And he wants to have a scene where this character sacrifices themselves. He's, I'm going to stay behind. I'm going to fend off this horde of zombies. And it's this really heart-wrenching scene where freaking... it's the... you see an explosion off in the distance. You don't see the sacrifice, and they're like, oh, Godspeed, man. And then the credits, it would reveal what happened. And essentially, it's this grown-ass man fighting a bunch of, zombie kids. And he's like, and he's like, it's like comedy gold. Because he's just, throwing them around like rag dolls. And he's just like, they're jumping up and clawing at him, and and he's like,
Okay. We're talking about adaptations.
But
I want to talk about one adaptation that might have the best line. Is a horrible adaptation, but has probably one of the best lines ever in cinema.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie is Street Fighter. Jean-Claude Van Damme's Street Fighter.
Oh yeah,
Raul Julia
as M. Bison.
Oh my god, when he's sitting there, he's talking to Chun-Li, and he looks.
Chun-Li's, you killed. You came to my village and killed my father, and he's like, to you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
And that's brutal as shit.
It's a good one, because it's just like...
That is one of the best lines, I think.
Raul Julia kills it in that movie.
Oh, man.
Street Fighter...
The fact that he was dying while making that movie just makes his role in that movie that much better.
He poured everything into that role. I think his kid was a big Street Fighter fan.
His kid was a big Street Fighter fan. That's why when he got...
And he poured... The Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie is great cheese.
Yeah.
It's... If you were looking for a silly movie, watch that.
Yeah.
It's got the great scene where, it explains Bison's levitation. And he's, he talks about the Japanese bullet trains, and he's like, and it levitates me. He does the Psycho Crusher, and it's great.
And it has Ming Na as Chun-Li. Mm-hmm. It has Andrew Bernarski as Zangief. It has Kylie Minogue as Cammy. Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile.
We have a decisively not American man playing an American soldier.
Yeah, playing the most American man that is Guile.
But you know what? I love Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude Van Damme is also a guy who pours everything into any role he has. He's one of the few 80s martial arts guys who was legit. Steven Seagal, fake, fraud, loser. Jean-Claude Van Damme is the king. He's still the king. He's still fit. He's still...
No, one of the best guys ever. Two of the are now Scott Adkins, who's been in a lot of Van Damme movies. He was in the last Universal Soldier movie. He's legit. Back in the day, Jeff Speakman, the guy from Perfect Weapon, was legit. And Michael Dudikoff from American Ninja was legit.
I don't know. I'm a sucker. I
You don't
like
even
Jean-Claude Van
you don't
Damme.
even know who any of these people are that I'm
Yeah.
talking about right now.
I only really know Jean-Claude Van Damme because he's the one I watched growing up. I
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport and Kickboxer.
Yeah.
Hey. All right. I got to talk about some things that the adaptations. The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit was 3 movies that only really needed to be 1. Lord of the Rings was 3 movies that needed to be... Well, it was 3 3-hour-long movies, so it was about perfect. But then the animated movies that we got in the 70s and 80s were so vastly condensed down. They actually were able to fit Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, and Return of the King into one, 2 hour and 10-minute animated movie. And they
I watched the animated movie.
I love the animated movies. I still to this day love the animated movies. I'm not gonna lie. I love the Hobbit movies, the old animated Hobbit movies. I even like the new one. There's a lot in there that didn't need to be put in there. They could have definitely made it 2 movies instead of 3, but it really only needed to be 1. I can sit down and read the Hobbit in 5 hours at most, and that's like taking my time. So and that's reading it. So that you could you could make a movie faster than you could read a book.
Because Tolkien's very verbose.
He is very descriptive in his verbiage and stuff.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying that.
That's my bit. I'm not saying anything.
Well,
That's my joke.
the thing is though is there's huge sections of the movies, the books that never make it into the movies, like all the music. Like Tom Bombadil and stuff like that they don't use.
Tom Bombadil is just completely absent from all adaptations.
Yeah. But then you get the movies, the animated movies, where you actually get songs. You get music. Mm-hmm. Which is one of my favorite one, which is the orcs. When there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way. I love that. That's one of my favorite ones, and it's so dumb, but I was a big fan of the 80s when we got animated movies for a lot of stuff. Like we got
and even bootleg animated movies, and sometimes the bootlegs are really good. Like that one Star Wars animated bootleg you were watching a while back.
Star Wars animated bootleg.
It was a movie that was like.
Space Hunter, not Space Hunter, Star Chaser, The Legend of Orin.
It was back at the old house.
Yeah.
And it was on in the background of one of the podcasts.
Star Chaser and The Legend of Orin.
Yeah, this is openly a Star Wars knockoff, but it's a great animated movie in its own right. I was like...
It's stupid. I remember seeing that in the theater in 3D.
And you were like...
That was cool as shit. So Space Hunter, Legends in the Forbidden Zone. All right. We're going to talk about a old ass adaptation of.
Man, we've been going for a while.
Yeah, but we got edits in there, but we're almost done. We're gonna finish this up and do this.
All right.
Okay. Dante's Inferno.
My favorite adaptation is Devil May Cry 3.
This is the weird adaptation because this is the original book. It's the Dante Alighieri's. But it's the text adapted.
Dante, I think he literally wrote some people he did not like in hell.
See, this is what it is, though, is in this one, they update the people in hell. So they put more contemporary...
Yeah, like
people.
right there, you see...
Yeah, you see cityscape and interstates and stuff like that in hell.
It's modern...
Like,
yeah, it's...
There's like...
It's... Dante's Modern Inferno.
Yeah. This is literally there's Dante and Virgil and Virgil's wrapped up in a thing that says open house. If you can ever get a chance to find this, this is a great.
It's a weird state of adaptation.
This is an adaptation or reimagining. But it is still the original text, but they add contemporary places and people into it. So,
like I said, my favorite adaptation of Dante's Inferno is Devil May Cry 3. It's got Dante, it's got Virgil, it's got sword fights, it's got demons.
It's got Virgil.
No. Virgil is that's who we call Virgil in DMC Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Also known as DMC the DMC, the reboot of Devil May Cry that sucked and was so bad that Capcom was like, nah, the reboot didn't happen, and went back to the original timeline to make Devil May Cry 5.
Okay. But if you ever get a chance, find that. It is on Amazon. It's from
I really like
Chronicle
that cover.
Books. Oh, it's great. I mean,
Show the cover again.
it's
Cool.
Hellscape.
It's got on the back too.
Yep.
It's one great big.
Yeah, it's a big.
It's really cool. I like that.
I love the classics. I am very much. It's funny because this is the only one I still have. I had the Divine Comedy, and I also had like Milton, Paradise Lost, and stuff like that. Which is funny because the hell that everybody thinks of as hell now didn't appear until these books came out.
Well, the thing is, Inferno Hell, that's not Dante's Inferno Hell. Like, Inferno Hell was something that came even after that.
Because this is just...
Hell in Dante's Inferno is actually very strange.
Yeah, it's
not really burning. It's like...
It's
I
levels.
think it's described as, like, generally, like, kind of cool.
There's a lake. Yeah, there's the levels of hell. Right there. Boom. Okay.
He's a fraud.
But there's ones where he's walking across the lake of ice, and there's just the sinners' heads are peeking out. But yeah, you get different levels of where people end up.
Violence.
Yeah. Sins of fraud, then there's levels of fraud, then there's levels. Yeah, violence
Limbo.
is further
Heresy.
up than fraud. But yeah, Dante's that is great.
Like I said, the original Dante's Inferno is funny because the real life Dante Alighieri, whatever his name is, wrote people he did not like into hell into his book, and which is hilarious and petty, and I love it.
All right, but we're gonna tie it up on adaptations for now. We want to give a shout out this week to freaking another bunch of people died. Fuck, 2020 can suck a dick.
It's the final stretch.
We just lost this week. We lost. I'm gonna butcher her name. But she was Dario Argento's wife. She did a lot of Italian horror films. She passed away recently. And Toe Cutter and Morton Joe from Kish. I can't pronounce his name because he's Australian. He has from the Mad Max movies. He passed away recently. Today, Squeaky from Laverne and Shirley just passed away. And you can take this one with the way we want it. He's not a very good person. He did a lot for the wrestling world, but he has a shady past. If you want to look it up, Pat Patterson, the wrestler, passed away just recently. Man, seriously, 2020 is just taking them away left and right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of these people.
Why is Woody Allen not dead yet?
But there's a lot of people that need to die that aren't dying, and the people who should be dying, or the people who are dying shouldn't be dying.
Exactly. The world sucks.
Dude, the guy that played Toe Cutter and Morton Joe, you know what he was cast as? He was going to be Martian Manhunter in George Miller's Justice League movie.
Fuck.
In 2005, we were supposed to get a George Miller Justice League adaptation with Armie Hammer as Batman and DJ Fortuna as Superman. Common was going to be Jon Stewart, Green Lantern. We didn't get that. But all right, I think we're going to get ready to call it a quits for the night. So, as always, Follow us on YouTube, Podbean,
Everywhere.
Stitcher Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
Are we on our iHeartRadio now?
We're not on iHeartRadio yet. We're still waiting for our update on that. We're getting ready.
Everywhere but iHeartRadio.
We're getting ready to do this because I'm going to do a lot of the podcast servers that we're on do both the video and the so what we're going to do is we're going to cut back and we're going to do an audio or a video one, and we're going to do an audio, just a straight audio one, so we can get put on more podcast servers.
But you could probably just take the audio from this and
that's what we're planning on doing. Check us out if you want to help us out. Hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, let people know that we're doing it. Comment. We've been getting a lot of comments lately, and
tell us what you think we're doing right or wrong.
And you can follow.
Don't tell me I'm ugly though. I already know that.
Help us out with our Patreon. You can follow us at Group Therapy TV on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter as Emperor Palpatine at Group Therapy TV. Or you can follow the Group Therapy Podcast at Group Therapy TV 1 on Twitter. You can check us out on Instagram at Group Therapy TV. We're out there. We're trying to get better. We're trying to keep getting better. I just lined up a couple more interviews this week. It looks like December and January is going to be busy. Hopefully, COVID
celebrity guests, baby.
We're gonna bring in some actors and actresses, some movie directors, some comic book artists, and we're hoping to get a couple of what do you want to call it? Zoom interviews with some people. Virtual. So please keep on there. Keep checking us out. Keep staying on top of us. We're always building.
Us that we got. Keep us motivated.
And if you have story ideas, or show ideas, let us know. We'll steal
your idea and not credit you.
Yeah, no, we will credit you.
We will credit you.
But we will still want to thank our patrons out there. We can't do this without you guys helping us out. It helps us with equipment and product and stuff like that. If you want to come in, also if you want to come in Are You Games, say hi, talk to us, help us. Come in there,
support us.
Support us, yes. Still got the sales on the DVDs going. So, all right. Well, you all have a good night. Adios.
I'm out.
Later.